Here we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments section below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we are going to pull back a bit with this price chart and look at the daily chart first. The reason that I point to this area is because I do think that there's a fairly significant and major technical signal that is developing on this price chart that does point to the positive bullish direction. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some very specific price levels and some specific technical signals, which suggest that there might be a bit of a surprise in the outlook for this stock going forward. So currently what we're looking at is a near-term high coming in at $8.30. As we know, we did not manage to develop a weekly close above the $8 mark. That's a little bit unfortunate. It does suggest that the overall rally here could have been a bit stronger. But although this is not to take away from the fact that prior resistance levels were broken in the process, and we did see this double top. Sort of a weaker asymmetrical double top formation break to the top side. So the weekly close here could have been a bit better, but it was still pretty strong given the fact that we're closing right near the $8 mark. And the stock itself has managed to post a very impressive movement from these prior price lows, which came in right around $6. In addition to that, we're also seeing some positive trading volumes here that do suggest these moves are the real thing. The trading volumes themselves really are confirming, these movements higher, because what we're seeing here is an increase in positive bullish activity and a bit of a decline here in the prior negative activity that was being seen previously. So if we sort of go back on the price chart a bit here, we can see that there are spikes in negative trading volumes. Roughly, for the most part, this would have occurred roughly around the end of July, roughly July 30th. But those types of conditions have started to change. And we have seen sort of a trend change here in the trading volumes themselves, which do largely support these recent moves higher. So that is a positive signal on its own. In addition to that, we've also broken above the this more recent downtrend line. This downtrend, it's really a downtrend channel that had developed here, as we can see here. So for the most part, this downtrend channel is now broken. This really started to develop right around the first half of April. So this has been in place for quite a while here. Remember, this is the daily price chart. So every candle on this price chart is going to represent a full day's trading period. So this is not a short-term time frame. This downtrend channel on the daily price chart, we can say this was a significant break at this point. There was a little bit of a question here because share prices did manage to reverse so much. We failed to test the prior highs of 806. We kind of failed here at 795, and then we did post a new low at 601 relative to the prior low at 615. So, these might seem like minimal differences here. But what this did say previously was that share prices were not finding support at their prior levels. There was something changing in the market, and it did look like this recent upside break here into 806 and 795 could have been a false breakout. This recent move higher, however, does sort of invalidate that possibility. Since we're seeing new highs now, this does suggest that these prior price movements would not have been the false breakout. If anything, at the moment, what appears to be the false breakout would be this move into 601. So as things currently stand, we have broken through this downtrend channel that is visible on the daily price chart. And there is now a fairly significant amount of room here to the top side for prices to start to extend. We really don't have much resistance here until roughly 920, 925. And then in addition to that, I do want to point out a very significant technical signal on the relative strength index for the daily time period. So what we have here, I'll just sort of emphasize it a bit first. Overall, these conditions are still somewhat negative, moderately negative. I mean, as you can see here, this isn't a tremendous slope lower. It is negative. We are seeing lower highs on the relative strength index. And this might not be totally surprising given the fact that this is being drawn from the highs that were posted toward the end of 2023, coming in right around the 1050 level. So overall, the trend movement here is still downward, as we can see. So it's not totally surprising to see some negative momentum still influencing the market. And this is a modest slope. This really is not an excessive slope. But what I would want to point to here would be this signal down here. And this might seem like a small, insignificant line, but I don't really feel that that is the case in this situation. Specifically, what we have here is a bullish divergence on the relative strength index. So what does this mean exactly? Essentially, what this is telling us is that prices are failing to be confirmed. Price movements lower are failing to be confirmed by the indicator reading itself. So we'll sort of go over quickly what this means. If we look at the prior price lows, the prior low in the relative strength index would have developed during the June 20 trading session. And if we go back to June 20 on the price chart, we can see that share prices would have been trading right around 625. So keep that number in mind. As we move forward here in time, we can see that share prices created a condition in the indicator reading where the relative strength index was now posting higher lows. So here we've got a price zone of 625 at this prior low, and now here at this more recent trend movement lower, this is where we see this move into $6.01. And this is largely why you can now start to view this move into 601 as being the true false breakout. There was a false breakout here in one direction or another. You really can't get around that. One of two things has to be true here. Either this breakout to the top side was the false break of this prior downtrend channel, or this movement into 601 was the false break. One of these two things is true. So where is the balance of the evidence here at the moment? Well, one, we have this price movement higher into 830. So this means that we did break above this prior double top zone right around $8 per share. And then on rising trading volumes. And then in addition to that, you've also got this bullish divergence that started to form right as prices were moving into the 601 level. So what this tells you is that prices were not trading at these lows as the indicator reading was trading at these lows. So in other words, share prices were posting lows on the relative strength index that were not being confirmed by the indicator reading itself. So this does create a bullish divergence condition, and this is likely what led to this massive price spike higher here. So there were technical signals here in place which did suggest that share prices should be moving higher. And what this ultimately does is, at the moment at least, most of the evidence does suggest that this movement into 601 would have been the false breakout to the downside. So here's the current market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Our high-value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high-conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.